cutie pies. I am Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Excuse me. Today is Tuesday, November the 7th, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a solid 8. It was a good episode to me. I like when days feels dark. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like sometimes it can get light, but I like when they go kind of dark with the soap. I don't know if that makes sense, but y'all tell me what you think. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, to let me know you were here and subscribe to the channel. Y'all, my StreamYard is for some reason it's not connecting with my internet. So I wasn't able to do the clips because I had to use another app to record the show. So sorry I can't do the clips, but go down in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First of all, we see Melinda. Melinda is on the phone with Nicole. She's on the phone with Sloan. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, you got married. Congratulations." Like she's happy for her. And then she sees Paulina sitting in the um y'all know the hold on just a second, sorry, my sinus bothers me. So Melinda sees Paulina sitting in the town square, and so she's like, "Oh, Mayor Price," she's just talking to her. And Paulina said, "Girl, if you're trying to get your job back and try to suck up to me, don't." Even because Paulina was, I guess she had another face off or runoff against Clint, and she won, so she is the mayor. And so she was telling Trask, "Don't try to butter me up because you're not getting your job back." And Trask was like, "Quiet as kept. You don't have anybody else for that job because you can't find anybody as qualified as me." And she said, "Girl, you didn't put anybody away." I said, "Well, she did and she didn't." Like the hardcore criminals, yes, she got put away, but some of the other ones, it is what it is. And so she was just like, "Well, anyways, Mayor Price, you're not going to find anybody who's qualified as me." And she said, "Well, I'm going to try." And so that's pretty much it with them. So then we see Melinda is just sitting there, and she gets an alert on her phone, and it's telling her that Lee has died, and she's just in shock. Now then we see Wendy and Trip come up. Now, hey. Now Wendy and Trip have been at the hospital, and she was just disappointed. And she was disappointed that Lee died, and she's angry, and she wants to get revenge. And her way of getting revenge is like, "I'm going after Gabby. I need to make sure she pays." And Trip is like, "Wendy, you know, Lee confessed to, we saw Gabby with the knife. We heard her say she needed to get rid of it. Lee confessed that it was like, not confessed, but he said that it was Gabby was the one who, stabbed him in the back. All the evidence is there, so you don't have to worry about it." She says, "No, I need to make sure she pays because that's the commissioner's sister. Do you really think that he's going to want to put his sister away?" She was like, "I have to make sure in my heart of heart that she pays for what she has done to my brother." Like, because he could have just left her alone. But all these women, all they did was just use my brother. And Lee said, "Winnie, let's just go home. Like, let's just go somewhere because they can't go home right now because the tape and everything is still on. Still a police investigation, crime scene. So they can't go home." But he said, "Let's just get out of here because, Lee has passed, and he just wants to take her away so she can get her mind off of it and just let the police do their work." So then we come up to where Melinda sees them walking through the town square because they're on their way. Um, I don't know where they were going to go. I don't know if they were going to go to Steve and Kayla's or go, because they were not going towards the Salem Inn, but they were going somewhere. And so then Melinda comes up and she wants to give Wendy her condolences. And Wendy doesn't want to hear it because she said, "Girl, the way you Wendy said, y'all legit screwed my brother over to try to get information from him." She said, "You are no better than Gabby." And Melinda says, "I thought, yes, I wanted to get Lee, for what he had done, but he was no saint. But I still liked him, and I thought there was something there between us. And I'm sorry, and I'll always regret that I let my ambition get the best of me, and I couldn't just like Lee, just like him for who he was, because we did have a spark there." And she is like, Melinda is sad that he's gone. She said, "No matter what, this is not what I want. This is not what I wanted for him. I never would have wished him death." And so Gabby doesn't want to hear it. And at the time, Trip gets a phone call, and they're letting him know that they can go back to the apartment. I said, "That fast? Dang." like that y'all over with the crime scene is over and done like that fast. That's crazy to me. But it is what it is. It is what it is as far as that. And she just tells Melinda, I'm done here. Like, don't try to give me your condolences because I don't believe them and I don't want them. So then we see So then we go over here and we see EJ as well as Nicole. So EJ and Nicole, he's still on the phone trying to talk. She's trying to talk to Lee's father, but he can't get it to him because he's in a meeting, right? And he was like, I don't care. I said, EJ, I thought we were going to enjoy the honeymoon night. And Nicole came up and she said that too. She was like, what are you doing? All this can wait. He said, I just can't believe Gabby and Stefan kicked me out as co-CEO. And he was like, oh, I could just kill Lee Shin for giving over his shares and everything. And she said, at the end of the day, she said, it doesn't matter. We'll deal with this tomorrow. We'll get our revenge on them tomorrow. But for tonight, I just want to enjoy our wedding night. And he was like, you're right. You're right. So they're going to go upstairs because at first, remember they said they were going to go to the extra room, or I guess I don't know. But they decide to go upstairs, and when they're going upstairs, they get a knock on the door. And EJ said, that's my mama with this fruit basket. She done called me 3 times telling me it's coming. Her gift for their wedding. And he said, it'll hold outside, but then the knock is, it bangs louder. So they're like, who is this at the door? And it's Paulina there. And she tells EJ that she needs to speak to him. And they say, it's our wedding night, Paulina, and we're just gonna we want to enjoy it. And Nicole said, well, why did you come over? And she said she wanted to offer him a job. And so Nicole said, well, we can wait a few minutes and get into this, because Nicole really doesn't want to do the whole bickering with the DeMiras, honestly. So she's like, what kind of job are you trying to offer him? And she tells him deputy mayor. And he was like, oh, I've been mayor before. I'm really just trying to focus on DeMira. And Nicole said, well, let's talk. And so then Paulina proceeds to let him know that, with Chanel and Johnny get back together, that's like we're a family. So we could run this town. It could be Price, DeMira. You want to do it? Like, what's up? And he was like, well, I don't know, let me think about it. And Nicole is trying to convince him, like, what's there to think about? This would be a great opportunity for you and everything. So we don't really see EJ's answer. They just say, okay, let's continue to talk to try to work this out. So we move from there to Gabby and Stefan talking to Harris, because they were at the apartment still, right? And so when they're at the apartment, this is Lee's apartment, Harris tells them he has to arrest them. And they were like, excuse me, for what? And so he breaks it down for them, like that Lee said Gabby was the one who stabbed him. Wendy and Trip both saw him, and they both saw her holding the knife, and they said they heard her say, we need to get rid of this. They're trying to tell Harris, I didn't do this. And he says, well, I have to follow the evidence. And then they try to start insulting Harris. Harris doesn't care. He said, you're under arrest, ma'am. Come on, get in these handcuffs. And then Stefan says, how do you think her brother, the commissioner, is going to feel with you handcuffing her and bringing her down to the station? Harris said, well, we're going to see. And that's pretty much it. And Gabby begs Stefan, don't let them do this to me. I can't go to prison. And he says, I'm going to take care of you, or whatever. Now, y'all, okay, now I'm not going to say it right now. Let's keep going. So then they get to a police station, and Jada is there with Rafe, and he's telling her, where's your partner? And she said, he caught a case. It's a homicide. And he said, what? And then she said, yeah. And he was like, who? And she said, Lee Shin. And he said, what? Who want to kill Lee Shin? Have you heard any updates on it? She said, no, but he's bringing in a suspect right now. And baby, he brings in Gabby. And they're like, what? So then Gabby is in the, there's holding cell, interrogation room, whatever you want to call it. And Harris just gives Rafe the details of what went down. And Rafe said, okay, I need to go in and talk to her. And Jada says, Rafe, are you okay? And he's like, no, I'm not okay. My sister's been arrested, but I need to talk to her. I need to find out what's going on. And she says, well, maybe I should lead this investigation. And he was like, no, I got this, Jada. So I said, I don't think you should do this, but okay. So he goes in and and Gabby, the first thing she says, handcuffs, really? I said, girl, you are under arrest for murder. You have bigger problems than being handcuffed to the chair. But anyway, so Rafe goes in with her and he was like, Gabby, Harris read you your rights. You have the right to remain silent. She said, yeah, yeah, he read me my rights and everything. And he said, good. So now I'm not talking to you as a detective, the commissioner, I'm a police officer. I'm talking to you as your brother. What have you done? And she said, I didn't do anything, Rafe. So she starts telling him the story about how Lee told her to come over, and she went over there and she saw him on the ground on the floor with the knife in his back. So she took the knife out. He said, why did you touch it? She said, because I was trying to help him. I said, girl, you would have helped him more by calling the police. Like, why didn't you call the police and then try to pull a knife out? Be like, while you're on the phone, I'm about to take the knife. I don't know, child. I don't know what she could have done better. But so then he's just like, okay. She says, you gotta believe me, Rafe. I didn't do this to Lee. Like, this was already done. And he tells her, Gabby, it looks bad. Like, this really looks bad. They have witnesses. And you were holding the knife. Your fingerprints are all on it. She says, I know, but I didn't do it. He said, well, why did Lee want you over? She said, he always wanted me over. He said, Gabby, because he knew she was lying about something. He was like, Gabby, you got to tell me the truth. So then she proceeds to tell him about what Stephanie and her did as far as blackmailing Lee. He said, Gabby, why would you do that? And she was like, well, he tried to kill Stephanie and I wanted those shares. He was like, it's always about the mirror and y'all trying to get those darn shares. Trying to get revenge on EJ. And she said, yes, because he knew. I said, baby, that was so long ago about EJ and Stefan. At this point, they've been drugging each other and all that. Y'all needed to let that go. And he said, it's always about but anyways, reference like it's always about the shares. And you humiliated Lee. And, at the end of the day, that man was in love with you and you just took everything from him. So maybe he did this. Maybe he set you up because she feels like she's being set up. And that's what she told him. And he said, maybe Lee did it. And she was like, and he got somebody to stab him in the back. And she said, and he just told her maybe that was his revenge. You took everything from him while he was living, but in his death, he can extract his revenge on you by making you go to prison. And she just tells Rafe, I cannot go to prison, Rafe. Not after what happened last time. I cannot go. And I would never do this because of Ariana. And he tells her, I believe you, but now we got to try to find the evidence that Lee did this to set you up. And he said, but you got to get in your mind that you might be going to prison because it's all pointing towards you or whatever. So then while they're in there talking, Stefan comes up and he was like, where's my wife? And they told her she's talking to Rafe. He says, I want to speak to her. And Jada says, let her talk to her brother. If Rafe can help her in any type of way, he's going to help her. So then Stefan is like, so why are you two sitting around here, like standing around here, when y'all should be out there looking for who did this to Lee? And like he was yelling and stuff at them. And I'm with Harris. He was like, Nicole, wait a minute now. Now lower your tone when you talk to us, ma'am. He was like, you're not gonna be yelling at us like this. And why don't you go over there and get a cup of coffee and calm down? Because you're not gonna be yelling at me or my partner. That's what you're not about to do. That's what I heard. And so Stefan was like, I'm going to get on the phone and get the best lawyer. And at this point, Jada was like, yeah, you better, because she going to need it. Because they were sick of Stefan. They were sick of Stefan. And so, anyways, Rafe comes out and he talks to Harris and Jada, and he says, Gabby said she didn't do it, and I believe her. But he said, but I don't know if I'm just in denial and just want to believe my sister or if she really didn't do it. He said, I don't know. He said, but at the end of the day, Jada said, we're going to follow the evidence and hopefully it leads to Gabby being exonerated of these charges and everything. So they're just going to follow the evidence. So then Stefan goes in and he talks to um, Gabby. He goes in and he talks to Gabby, and she's just telling him, "Oh my gosh, Stefan, I can't go through this. I can't do this." And he was like, "It's okay. You're gonna be fine." And she was like, "Who would do this? Who would want to do this to me? We need to find out." And did y'all see the way Stefan was looking? I said, "Stefan, did you do this?" And Gabby has got convicted of it, and you didn't know that she was gonna be there. Like, who did this? But right now, I'm like, Stefan, did you do it? And you now you got to try to find a way to get Gabby off because you didn't know she was gonna come over and touch the knife and all that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This is like the Abigail murder. We'll find out. We'll find out who did this, and everything. But Anyways, Stephen was looking a little bit guilty to me, so that's all I'm saying. Y'all tell me what you think. So Nicole was on the phone with Susan and she's thanking her for the fruit basket and everything. And she says, well, EJ would love to tell you, but he caught a case. He has a new job and he had some duties. So we go back to Stephen and Gabby in the interrogation room or no, it's the interrogation room. Anyways, we go back to them and EJ comes in with the briefcase and they're like, EJ, if this is about the Demers shares, it still stands that you're not getting them and we're still in charge. And then Gabby was shaking her head like, yeah. And I said, girl, y'all have bigger things to worry about. Y'all need to be telling EJ, we need you to take this case, but they got bail on it or whatever. I wonder if is Belle gonna come back or because the actress said that she was gonna have to think about if she wanted to come back after Albert got fired. She was gonna have to think about if she wanted to come back in and out because they really didn't have a role for her. But now with someone new in charge, she didn't know. So I wonder if they're gonna have Belle, that actress, come back, or are they going to replace her with someone else who's just going to come in and out, more of a recurring role? You know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Anyway, so EJ struts up in there, and baby, he is too happy. And I said, EJ, what you finna do? And so he tells them, no, I'm not here because of the Demir shares. Actually, I got another job. I'm not even worried about Demir. I got another job. And they said, who hired you? And he said, Paulina Price. I'm the new district attorney. Because they were saying before he came in, they were like, you convinced Rafe. Stephen was telling Gabby, you convinced Rafe that you didn't do it because he loves you and he believes you. Now you have to convince the district attorney. And EJ was like, tough luck with that because I am the new district attorney. And Stephen is just like, you gotta be kidding me. And he was like, nope. And Gabby, it is gonna be my duty to make you my first conviction. I said, uh-oh. This about to be a mess, but I am totally here for it. I'm here for it. Y'all, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an all new episode of What Happened on the Soaps, Days of Our Lives edition. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.